First of all, before I say anything, I want to just let you know how hard it is to beat legends of the Speedway, of the United States Speedway. Michael Bast and Bruce Penhall, these guys were legends, and they were really good. And I'm humbled, I'm very humbled to have raced these guys in scratch and handicap racing. And I've had some success, and so I'm doing this show in humility, okay? These guys are way better than me. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to start this show, and I want you to know how hard it is to beat these Speedway legends. It was my first full season at age 17. I was racing this D2, D1 track called Otay Mesa. At the end of the year, they had the top 3 point getters for the King of the Hill Match Race Championship. I happened to race Rad Brad Oxley. I raced Larry Costa, who later went on and raced for the Aces in the British League. And lucky for me, I was able to come on top with the King of the Hill honors. I was the champion, the first championship I had at age 17. I don't know if this is true, but I think the Oxleys didn't like me because I had beaten Brad, which turned out to be a 2-time United States Speedway champion. A great guy, great racer, but I happened to get lucky that night and beat him. And they went ahead and always put me on the program with Bruce Penhall. Every time I was on a first division race back in the day, I would look in the program and there was Bruce Penhall and me in the same race. And I'm like, oh no, I got Bruce Penhall again. I opened the program the first night I was in Division 1. The first time, it was my first year racing Speedway for the full year. And guess who was on the program in my race? It was Bruce Penhall and the Rocket, Rick Woods. I was like, oh my gosh, because when I was a little boy, like 12 years old, I went to my first Speedway race, there was Rick Woods dominating. And here I am in the program with Rick Woods. And the year before, I was drinking, having dates, having a good time, watching Bruce Penhall win all these main events. And now I'm racing with these guys. Lucky for me, I had one of the top tuners at that time. He saw me in just a week or two in the season before. It was Jerry Fairchild, and he saw I was riding a JAP. I was the last Division 1 rider riding a JAP, and Jerry Fairchild said, we're going to make those Japs beat the Jawas, and he did. And also, I had a teacher at the Maley's Ranch, and his name was Dangerous Dub Farrell. And Dangerous Dub, he taught me everything how to ride. I'm not sure if Dub liked me a lot, but we rode with the same mechanic, and Dub Farrell was and is a fabulous teacher. Getting back to that first race, I was just a young 17-year-old. And I was like, I gotta go fast because I got Penhall and Woods on this race. So I went ahead, when the tape went up, I went ahead and just gassed it. I mean, I went fast as I could on that old JAP. And I was like in the lead the whole race. And I'm like, this Division 1 stuff, it's pretty easy, right? It's pretty good. I didn't see nobody behind me. I was like just flying right ahead of the pack. But the last turn and the last lap, I bobbled a little bit. And there was Penhall just riding around the outside. And I'm like, come on, Brian, faster. And Penhall, he beat me by like that much. I was so mad. I was like, I had this in the bank until I made that bobble. Penhall definitely took advantage of it. And I was happy that I had lost to Penhall. I'd beaten Rick Woods, but still, I was very upset. That Friday night really burned on my mind. I was really upset about that. And then the following Tuesday at Ventura, they had put me on the program. And I was going to high school at El Medina High School, and I had a girlfriend named Debbie. And I said to Debbie, like, let's just play hooky from school. She had gone to Los Amigos High School in Santa Ana. And I said, let's just go early to Ventura. Let's have a picnic and we can just chill. We can get ready for the races, because I knew I was in Division I at the time. And Debbie said, okay. So we played hooky from high school. We left about 9 o'clock in the morning. We got to Ventura about 12 noon. And we found this rolling hill area. It was very beautiful. And I told Debbie, I said, let's just go have a picnic on top of that mountain. And she said, okay. So we went ahead and carried everything up to the top of the mountain on top of this hill. And we had a picnic. It was very nice. It was very, very beautiful. After the picnic, we're really feeling good. And I don't know how to say this because I'm on video right now, but when you have a boy and you have a girl in a very romantic place, guess what happens? You make love. And Debbie and I, we're on top of this mountain and we did it, you know. And after we were finished, I was very tired because the long drive was 3 hours to Ventura, and then the food and the love. And I was very tired. And, you know, being a guy, we're like, let's go to sleep. So I asked Debbie, I said, can I just sleep here and then wake me up before the races? Is that okay? It was in the afternoon sometime. And she said, okay. So went ahead and slept. And then she was waking me up. She was like, Brian, it's time to go. The races are starting now. Like, you have to go to the sign-ups to sign in. Quickly, we got in the car and we headed over to Ventura Fairgrounds. It was time to do the sign-ups for the Speedway. I was very tired still. And I'm like, I don't feel like I could ride tonight. I was really zonkered out. And Debbie said, you got to ride. So we went ahead and I saw all the vans pulling up, and there was like Kelly Moran. I remember him smoking all the time. He was there with his van, and there was Penhall coming up in his beautiful orange van, and all these beautiful vans coming up, and First Division riders. And I was a new First Division rider, and I looked over and I had my mom's Pinto station wagon with the bike sideways and thrown in the back of that station wagon just to get to the races. And I'm like, you know, I feel pretty small right now, and I think these guys are going to beat me. And I told Debbie, I said, let's just not race tonight. Let's go ahead and sit in the stands. Let's chill, relax, because I didn't really want to race, and I wasn't really feeling good. And then I saw all these top riders, and I'm like, then I opened the program. There was like Penhall in my race and Moran and stuff. And I'm like, oh, let's just go up to the stands. I give up. I don't think I'm going to beat these guys tonight. The first race went off. And I went ahead and just gassed it. And I'm like, I don't know if I can make this race or not. But I stayed in the lead the whole way. And I was like, you know, this is weird because I could ride that bike, but I didn't feel good. And I went ahead and won the heat race. And I'm like, that was a miracle. I mean, how did I win that race? That's like impossible. Next, the semi-main. This is a handicap race. I was low yardage. I was at the front, which was not fair. And the race went off, and I had all these top riders behind me, and I just gassed it. And I'm like, I don't know if I can make this race again. And the race was over, and I had won the semi. And I'm like, this is a miracle. I mean, how did I win 2 races being so tired and so exhausted like I was? After that semi-main event win, I had won those 2 races, and I'm like, you know, Brian, you're feeling good. I mean, I was shocked. I'm like, the main event's coming up, and Penhall's in this race because he was always transferring to the main. And I was like, you know, Brian, you can win this race. I didn't believe I could win the first race and the semi. I thought there's no chance. However, the main event came. I said, you know what? I feel good. I'm feeling good. And I'm like, I can win this thing. And went ahead, and the race started, and I was in the lead, of course, low yardage rider. And I just start riding it as fast as I could because I knew these guys were fast right behind me. They were going to blow down my doors if I didn't like go fast. I'm just racing as hard as I could. And I thought, you know, Brian, you might win this main event. And about lap 2 or 3, there comes Penhall on the side. Again, Bruce Penhall on the outside of me. And I'm like, you know, I remember you last Friday, you beat me by an inch. And I'm like, I'm not going to give you an inch this time. And I just gassed it harder and I rode harder. I was physically and mentally exhausted. And I just rode that bike as hard and fast as I could, knowing that Penhall would pass me at any second. I knew that this guy was fantastic. And I said to myself, he's not going to win. And I went ahead and just rode it as hard as I could. And it was really exhausting. Let me tell you, that was probably the most exhausting race of my life. I really didn't care if it was Bruce Penhall. I said, I'm going to win this race. I was not intimidated with him this time. The last time, maybe I was a little intimidated. But I'm like, you know what? I'm mad. I'm going to beat this guy. I don't care if his name's Bruce Penhall or Michael Bass. It didn't matter. I'm going to beat this guy. And I went ahead and got lucky and beat him at the checkered flag. But there was no close finish this time. I had beaten Penhall fair and square by a little ways. I'm not sure how much because I didn't look back. So I won the main event, and I was like, you know, I almost didn't race, and here I am, a main event winner in handicap, and I was pretty happy. And we had a beautiful trophy girl. And my girlfriend, Debbie, she came out to give me a hug and kiss for a good ride against Penhall. And I thought she was going to congratulate me. And she whispered in my ear, "Don't kiss the trophy girl." And the trophy girl, she was beautiful, and she wanted to kiss me. And I told her, I said, I can't kiss you because my girlfriend said it's not good to kiss you. And I looked over and she was so beautiful. And I'm like, but Debbie, she's gorgeous. And she goes, if you kiss the trophy girl, we're breaking up tonight. I'm leaving you. I'm never going to see you again. I'm like, I don't want to break up with you. I love you, you know, like I'm not into breaking up with you. And she goes, don't kiss the trophy girl. So the trophy girl, you know, we did our presentation. I'm so sorry. And I was very sad because she was the most beautiful trophy girl I ever had in my life. And I had a few trophy girls. Anyways, I didn't kiss the trophy girl. I felt very sad, like, but I had won the main event. I take home the big prize. I was happy and I was tired. I was so exhausted, I can't even tell you. On the way home, Debbie was so sweet to me. She just kissed me all night and she was loving me all the way home. And I was very happy, and I just remembered how hard it was to beat Penhall that night and how difficult if I were to step up in a higher level and race, knowing that these guys are so incredibly fantastic and so incredibly good. I had gone to college. I went ahead and went to college after a couple years of racing speedway, got an education, and eventually later started a successful business. And now I'm retired in the Philippines. So I was able to have a good life after Speedway. I had a short Speedway career in Division I. Something told me, a voice inside said, if you continue to race, if you go to Europe, something bad may happen to you, like being handicapped or something. I had a feeling deep down inside, and I said, no, I don't want to be handicapped. So I went ahead and went to college and gained education. Ernie Roccio's brother, Johnny, he was like my father, and he told me, don't go to England and just stay home and, you know, go to college. So I ended up going to college. And then Bruce Penhall, he went on to win 2 United States Speedway Championships and 2 back-to-back World Championships. And I was in college, but it was great. I got to see Bruce in England and Bobby Schwartz, and just great guys, great riders. I totally respect these guys. I look up to these 2 guys also and revere their name. And I just appreciate the experience I had racing a true legend in Bruce Penhall.